Doug Karsch, Scott Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. Okay, so Kevin McGonigle might be really good at baseball, Scott. And he refuses to let us not talk about him as he takes the first pitch in their World Baseball Classic exhibition game against the Dominican Republic. Yoiks and away to right field. He's like forcing their hand, dude.
Yeah, you don't see many baseballs hit 460 feet, let alone, one that you actually smacked that came at you at 98 miles an hour.
Yep.
That was impressive. First pitch of the game. Boom, gone. Yep. And then he comes up.
Well, good evening to you, sir.
Yeah, hello. And then he comes up again and rips a base hit to right field that I swear to God, if the outfielder were placed in a different spot, the ball could have gone through him. I don't know what the exit velo on that was, but that looked like it was absolutely smoked. And then he has another hit, he draws a walk, gets to third base on a bad throw over to first and on a pickoff attempt and gets himself in scoring position. He is doing every single thing that is necessary to make the team. And you can't help but look at this and go, oh, my God. Yeah, okay, let's keep playing him. And they've got another international exhibition game today. He's starting at shortstop. It's interesting how they've got the rosters kind of split up for all this stuff, but he's getting his at-bats, and he's making the most of it. And good for him, because this is a guy who could single-handedly inject more life into a single team outside of signing Skubal to a long-term deal,
right,
than could have been done by any other free agent. Like the Framber Valdez free agent signing is great. But if Kevin McGonigle
dude
ends up being anywhere close to what we've seen in the spring, this is, for people that complain about, and rightfully so in some cases, they didn't add a bat in the offseason. Right, they didn't add a bat, and I'm with you. I wanted to add a bat. They didn't add a bat. Well, if the bat's Kevin McGonigle,
yep,
then we might just say, okay, all right, you're right. Yep. My bad.
Yep.
My bad. But for a rookie to make that kind of impact, I don't expect it. It's not expected. It's, can they be a great pro at some point? Sure. I just don't expect it to be in the first year without playing a single inning of AAA. But he is knocking on that door so hard right now that he's making so much noise you can't ignore it. And I don't think A.J. Hinch is ignoring it. I think A.J. Hinch is loving the idea of having this guy be your everyday shortstop.
Baseball America did an analysis of players and the impact of AAA on their development. And so they took a look back to 2010 and the 1,655 position players who've debuted in the majors since then. Now, they've excluded foreign professionals, guys who were like Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, they were major league ready. They were coming over here to play in the majors, not coming over here to play at the minors. And so they took a look at the 15% that had zero AAA experience. 15.6% of players that debuted didn't actually play at the AAA level, which I thought was surprising that it was that many. Names include William Contreras, DJ LeMahieu, Dansby Swanson, Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker, Julio Rodriguez, JD Martinez, Paul Goldschmidt, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Jose Ramirez, Fernando Tatis Jr., Mike Trout, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Brandon Crawford, Nolan Arenado, Kyle Schwarber. It is a long list of impressive players. And that just flat out skip AAA. And the data feedback says that players with fewer AAA plate appearances have better success rates than those who spent more time at AAA. Now, that doesn't mean that skipping AAA is the way to go, but what it does say is that the greats, they just don't need AAA. And even the ones that go aren't there for very long. So we've kind of discussed the merits of putting him in AAA and having him stay, and let him season. And I look this data to tell me it's not necessary. They're not doing something careless or rushing him unusually if he's skipping AAA, right?
Correct. And I'm just going through to look at some other players that the Tigers have had, really good guys at high upside or guys that have played well at the major league level. Did they play at Toledo all that much? And, I'm looking at like Riley Green, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Riley Green came up and played 124 games for the Tigers in 2021. And he only played 40 games in Toledo prior to that.
Right.
Colt Keith had played 67 games at Toledo before making the Tiger team out of spring training the following year. McGonigle, we're talking about not even playing AAA.
Yeah.
Which is insane. But this is why I love these exhibition games they're playing right now in the World Baseball Classic, because they're facing really high-end talent throughout that roster. And he answered the bell last night. Will he do it again today?
Who did he get the home run off of? Do you know?
I forget who the pitcher was.
Because the other thing that's happening in these, like they've got guys with no numbers and nameplates on their jersey because they just need somebody to throw some innings and they don't want to tax some pitchers. So I don't know who he hit the bomb off of. But he did. It was impressive. And, either way, he's forcing their hand. Now, baseball, real solid baseball conclusions are drawn over months, if not years, and certainly not weeks. But for this team right here, right now, it doesn't matter. Call them up. Sure, come north with them. And if it's not working out, send them down. I don't think it's that big a deal. So there's a lot of I've seen enough going around today.
Well, there's a lot of that.
Yep.
Yeah, and I look, as much as I want to make that proclamation, there's a long way to go here.
Yep.
It's not. It's like 10 games that he's played, 8 games he's played, something like that. He hit the home run off of Luis Severino.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. In the meantime, I was just taking a look back. The first 2 selections made in the draft by Scott Harris were Max Clark and Kevin McGonigle. It's a pretty nice start to his career.
Yeah, it is. It's a very nice start to his career, and this is what he wants. This is what he's as a GM. This is what you're waiting for. Mm-hmm. You made a controversial pick with Max Clark. It was very controversial to take the high school kid over the college ready to go guy.
Yep.
And you're playing a longer game with that, and then you use I think McGonigle was a sandwich pick.
Yes, he was.
And use that on McGonigle, who was a highly thought of, guy who was ready to hit, had good bat to ball skills, but has developed so quickly. And, those numbers are through the roof. What the scouting numbers were back then and where they are now, it's fantastic to see that kind of growth. And they've got a few of these guys in their organization that are now really highly thought of. And this is what he's waiting for. As a GM, this is the gratification that comes from taking those chances. And we had the guy call yesterday and say, it was kind of interesting that he has yet to give up any of those prospects that he has. Mm-hmm. And this is a team that's made the playoffs the last 2 years. Nobody thought they'd make the playoffs 2 years ago. And then last year was an interesting season to say the least. And they still made the playoffs and unfortunately just fell shy of getting to the ALCS. And now they're kind of loaded up. Here it is. You got an opportunity to bring up one of your blue chippers, the number 2 overall prospect in baseball. And it looks like his time could be now. We'll wait another 2 weeks to make that total determination.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick right now, based on what he's done, I'd say he makes a team.
Well, the one thing, we talked about what kind of impact a rookie of the year candidate bat could be. Somebody's going to be rookie of the year. And our guy right now is as strong a bet as anybody to be rookie of the year based upon what's going on down there in Florida. So that type of impact on a team that is trying to compete at the highest level, that has a perceived shortcoming in the offseason, left probably a box that didn't get checked according to most fans, then, that's fine. If this kid checks it, then it will be a risk taken and a reward for Scott Harris that, he rolled the dice here a little bit. And, that doesn't mean that he still can't add a bat or still shouldn't add a bat. But, dude, this kid's raking, absolutely raking. And then, the other thing about a hot rookie is it injects a real buzz into a clubhouse that's already pretty excited. I thought Kerry Carpenter's on-field interview the other day with ESPN and his unbridled enthusiasm for what this team did right before spring training started mix in a rookie of the year candidate, and boy, it could be fun.
Yeah, that's why it's interesting. You go back to a year ago with Dylan Larkin and his comments after the trade deadline, how he was a little disappointed they didn't add, because additions do add juice.
Yep.
And they do get you invigorated or reinvigorated. So I like where the Tigers are at right now. I like what McGonigle has done. I don't think there's a single person out there that can say, yeah, I don't like what McGonigle's done. I mean, the guy's hitting like over 500 in the spring if you include last night's statistics, and why wouldn't you?
I think even the most conservative baseball observers are like pulling a wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, if you want to keep talking Tigers, 248-539-9797. Love to hear from you on this Wednesday. Straight ahead, a Lions insider with some nuggets about what the offseason plan may look like and some insight on Max Crosby. Could he be coming to Detroit? Is it realistic? We'll get to that in the noon hour here on 97.1.